right. Hey, Dave, I hope you're doing good. I have this presentation, so I'll just go through it quickly. And then you can, hear it and then maybe give me your thoughts about it or whatever. But the first thing I wanted to cover was just kind of where natural assistance is right at now and what we focus on. Because we've met before, you've seen the product, and I think I told you earlier that we're focusing on professional athletes because there are so many different applications for the fabric. But we this year we will be actually hyper targeting people for fat loss, and the reason is because we have a lot of research supporting how wearing weighted clothing for long periods of time, which means like in daily life and during everyday activities, how that can really help to support fat loss. And the researcher behind this is on the team as an advisor, and I'm working very closely with him. So I also thought I would just quickly like go through that research so you have an understanding why it works, because there is a lot of misconceptions about why it would work. So I'm just going to go through it, and then so that you have a clear understanding of it. And essentially it's based on this system right here on the screen. And this is called this is an illustration of a system in the body which is called the gravitostat. And the way the gravitostat works is that it is a mechanism in the body to protect against obesity. Because if you think about it, evolutionarily, it's not good if you put on too much fat, because you become slow, you can't move as quickly, you become an easy target for predators. So the body has developed, all land animals have developed this type of system, and humans are one of them. And the way it works is that you have fat mass, or just body weight in general, and when you stand up, this weight presses on the lower legs, and that is how the body senses weight. And in the legs or in the bones, there is a special type of cell which is called osteocytes, and these osteocytes, they feel the pressure in the bone, and then they send a signal to the brain. And this is where the research is quite groundbreaking, is this connection that they discovered, that the cells actually send a signal to the brain, and that the brain is connected. Because that makes it more like that makes this type of treatment more than just like a mechanical or a physical phenomenon, because the brain can act in very different ways. And one of the ways, or the main way that it works, is actually that it reduces appetite. So they've done experiments on rats, pigeons, and humans, and the main observed thing that they see is that you get a reduced appetite. So you get a reduced food intake. And that is the main reason for why it works. And then on top of that, you also have increased energy expenditure. And this is what comes most intuitive to most people. And I'll go through this more a little bit later. But just remember that the main thing is actually by wearing weighted clothing for long periods of time, you can reduce appetite. And to give you a little bit of background of how it works, the theory is that it works according to something resembling a set point theory. So essentially, on the y-axis, you have body weight, and then on the x-axis, you have time. And as time goes on, the body weight fluctuates a little bit for different reasons, like water and fat and muscle, all of this stuff. But in general, the body aims to keep the body weight constant within an interval. And there are different mechanisms to keep the body within this interval. And the lower interval is the leptin system. And that is what makes it really hard to lose weight, because as soon as you start losing weight, the leptin system kicks in and it increases your appetite. So you become really hungry and you think about food all the time. And it also decreases energy expenditure in the body to reserve as much energy as possible. So it becomes really hard to lose weight. And this is the leptin system. But then there is also another system which is above the upper interval point. And this is the gravitostat system. So the system I went through now, that's what happens once you go above a certain individual weight. And then the system starts kicking in. The problem is that for some people, this system is dysregulated. Yeah, I'm not going to go into reasons why, but essentially it doesn't work for some people in the same way that it should work. And that's why it never kicks in. And that's why they just become really obese and really overweight. And by wearing weighted clothing, you can trigger it earlier, so that you don't have to put on all the fat. And earlier I told you that it helps to increase energy expenditure. And this is the reason why. So you know that if you have a caloric deficit, you will lose weight. And because the GravitaStat works to reduce appetite, it already helps in that point, because you will consume fewer calories and you won't want food in the same way anymore. But it also works for energy expenditure. So here you have the total daily energy expenditure. So it's an illustration to divide how energy is spent throughout the day. You have exercise up here, which is a very small point. The thermic effect of food, which is when you eat and then you burn the food to create heat. That process takes energy. You have NEAT, which is all the small daily movements that you do throughout the day, like walking, standing, standing up, sitting down, housework, etc. That's movement, but it's not really classified as exercise. And then you have the basal metabolic rate, which is the really big chunk here, but it's just all the necessary things in the body to keep us alive, like the brain, liver, kidneys, muscle anabolism, and stuff like that. And the way that the GravitaStat works, or weighted clothing works, to increase energy expenditure is mainly by increasing the NEAT and the BMR. And this is where it's quite groundbreaking. A lot of people understand that it increases NEAT and that's what they intuitively think about when they think about weighted clothing, because they think, okay, well, if I add weight, then I will burn more in my daily activities. And that's true. So that's great, but it's not all. And the big one is actually this BMR thing, because it's just such a big part of the TDEE. But essentially, when the GravitaStat is activated, the brain knows that it's too fat, and then it has effects on the body to make it increase energy expenditure. So, and we don't know exactly how it works, but it works in a lot of different ways. One thing that's important to know is that the GravitaStat works, or like this type of GravitaStat mechanism only works or works best for people who are already overweight to obese. And this is also a bit of a misconception, because sometimes you have people who are, they're not super lean, but they have a little bit of fat, like a little bit of healthy fat, and then it's not going to work well, because these people are already probably here, like maybe around the upper limit of their upper intervention hormone, but they don't have a dysregulated GravitaStat system. So it only works best for people who are already overweight and already obese. And that's a very important thing to know. And I know that just this is quite a lot of information, so I thought that you would probably have a lot of questions here. We would discuss it, but I'll just move past it. I hope I answered. I hope I I made you understand it. Otherwise, just let me know. I can answer any questions. But essentially, what Natural Resistance is doing now is that we're launching a program to help people lose fat, but also to educate them on this concept, because it's a lot of new ways. It's a new way to look at fat loss, and we're launching this program to help people and educate them at the same time, basically. And the program is based on, of course, wearing weights, so wearing the Natural Resistance garments every day for like 8 hours a day, every day, basically, and standing up more. And these two are the main thing, actually, that just characterizes the program. That we want it to stand up as much as possible, because if they're not standing up, it doesn't work, because then the pressure on the lower legs is not executed. So they need to stand more and they need to wear weight. And then we also want to encourage a general healthy and active lifestyle, which is more what a typical health coach or something would do, where they encourage people to go on walks and take the stairs instead of the elevator and play with children, etc. So we also want to encourage this type of lifestyle, but it's not the core of what the program is about, because the core is about the weighted clothing and the graphic stuff. And it consists of 4 main parts. Of course, when they join the program, they get the garments. It's included in the program. And probably they would have like an upper body garment and a lower body garment. They also have daily accountability through chat messaging, because they need to wear it every day and 8 hours a day. So it's quite a big commitment for people to do it. And we want to encourage them to do that by basically becoming friends and like keeping daily contact with them and having them send pictures of the garments, all of this stuff, just to keep them accountable. We will also have weekly group coaching sessions and live webinars where they can ask questions. We'll show them, like maybe discuss a specific topic a little bit more in detail. And then lastly, we'll be posting content and giving tips based on what I explained earlier, just to help people lose as much fat as possible, make the most out of it, and all this stuff as well. And then after the program, what happens is that it's a time-limited program, and after the program, they are offered to join Natural Resistance through a membership, and that means that as members, they get certain benefits. One of the benefits is that they get access to the clothing. So we're not actually selling the clothing like a normal brand would, because they're quite expensive. So instead, we have this membership where within the membership, they get their garments and then they can send it back. We recycle them, they get new ones. So we're really building a really close, or like we really want to build a really close relationship with the clients. And then we want to add more stuff on that later on the membership subscription, but right now it's for access to the clothes. And we are looking to work with online coaches for different reasons. I outlined some reasons here, but to drive traffic, to help to sell the program. This one is important, like really crucial, to maintain close customer relationships, because we're really trying to build a close community where you have close relationships, and then you really need kind of this one-on-one. You need a group of community, especially also like a local community. You know this more than anyone because you're doing amazing on this stuff. So I don't need to tell you how important it is. But yeah, and the reason is really so we can focus on developing the product, because I'm a product guy. I love to work on products. This is just one product I have. We're going to make improvements on the product. We're going to come up with new products that will fall under the membership. So I'm really trying to work with online coaches to take over more that part of things. And it benefits coaches in different ways. Of course, the first one is just like pay and compensation. What's unique here is the opportunity for recurring revenue. Because I explained to you earlier about the membership, and it's a monthly membership, so they pay every month. And the reason here that we're going to arrange it is that when a coach refers a client or becomes a sponsored coach, they get a percentage of the membership also, basically forever, for as long as the membership is active. And that's a very unique thing in the fitness industry, where it will enable coaches to build like a business more based on recurring revenue, which I think is really unique, and I think it can really help a lot of coaches and also more clients, because we like all the clients that we get in different ways through the program. We want a coach connected with the client, but we don't want to have our own coaches. We rather work with coaches, like independent coaches, who we then kind of send the coaches to, or the clients to. So it's also an opportunity to get even more clients, because we will be doing a lot of marketing for the clothes, but then we also want the coaching aspect of it. And then we have the brand differentiation, and all of this, of course, depends how close the coach wants to be in the company. But if they are willing and if they want to offer the concept directly, almost like an online franchise, is a great opportunity to really stand out and really differentiate yourself from all the other health and fitness coaches, because we have this really unique concept that's proven to work, and that yeah, that's really great. So that's also a way like to get even more clients, to find your voice. I know you already have a very good concept that's working, but especially for a lot of maybe smaller coaches, it's also a way for them to kind of jump on and then become a sponsored coach and drive this concept forward. And then lastly, of course, as always in the future, like I have so many more ideas on how to support coaches also with content, with ads, exclusive events, all of this stuff. And this will also be like for all the coaches that work with us, that will also be included. And how it benefits Natural Assistants, I told you earlier, it allows us to focus on the core activities, which is the product innovation, product development. But we can also provide a much better service to customers than we would have been able to do otherwise. Because all of the different coaches, they have something unique that they bring. They have their own specialty. They can have a more local contact, a closer contact with the customer. So we really see that as a benefit. And in the end, it allows us to scale bigger and faster because we can go to different markets. We can use the audience from the coaches. So we're really trying to create a win-win where Natural Assistants benefits and also coaches benefits as much as possible. And yeah, then it was if we had any thoughts. And I have thought about some ways we could work together. So I've outlined 3 ways here. But I don't even know if you're super interested or not. Hopefully after watching the video, you have a little bit of a better understanding, but I will just list the ways we could work together and then you'll let me know. The first one is of course like classic influencer marketing where the coach just kind of promotes the program. I'm not so interested in this one though, because yeah, I think you've already understood that I want to work very closely with the coaches also, and like I'm not really looking for an influencer marketing relationship, but an even closer relationship. But of course, this one is important and it's a good one. Lastly, is to basically upsell the program to existing clients, either as like a module or a bonus on top of the existing program that you have or the coach already has. And this one I think comes a little bit more naturally, especially for people or for someone like you who already are established and have a program where it makes sense to include it. It could act kind of like a bonus module for people who are interested in it and want to learn more. And then essentially the coach would be doing all the coaching and like they would be going through the program as normal. And then the only thing that would be added would be the Natural Assistant clothes and like the course curriculum. So then we wouldn't do like we could still invite people to the live webinars and stuff, but they wouldn't really go through our program. It would more be that the clothes are included in your program, if that makes sense. And then lastly, which is the biggest one or like the most comprehensive one, is if the coach wants to like work really closely with us and directly actually like offering and executing the program directly as a sponsor coach. And this is the one we're most interested in. It also means the most commitment. So these 3 alternatives are like, it's also based on commitment, but yeah, we are looking to work really closely with coaches, ideally. So preferably we want to work with sponsor coaches as much as possible. And I think that's what makes the most sense also. But this is yeah, I mean, this is what I had. I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts and questions and ideas. I know obviously you're also very busy and I get that 100%. So but I wanted to show it to you. I wanted to present it so that you have a little bit of a better idea of what's happening. I also urge you to check on the website because like the product has developed a lot also since you saw it. The main thing is that it's super elastic now. It's way much more elastic than when you had it, and that's really a game changer. Yeah, thanks for watching, Dave. Good luck.